Buds though, G. What is up, everybody? It's Matt Johnson. We are back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. We've got an amazing guest here with us today. We've got Gene as well with his social media and or tech tip of the week. As usual, I don't know quite what he's going to bring, so it'll be a surprise. It'll be like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, and so we'll get to him in a second. First of all, the junior grandmaster himself is in the co-pilot seat where he so belongs, and he actually decided to dress up for us today. I don't know why, because he's only going to literally, as soon as we get done with the podcast, I'm pretty sure Greg's going to shoulder roll through the plate glass window behind us and go running home and crack a beer. So, Greg, how are you?
Hell yeah, I am. This is why you work with someone for so long, you know exactly their reactions. Like, I'm off work. Look, the good days have begun. No, but dude, I'm super excited. Leigh's going to be an awesome guest to us. Gene is, as always, a fountain of knowledge. But I got to tell you something. It's always exciting in life when you're driving down the road. You're super excited about life. You just came from a $2.2 to a $2.5 million listing that appointment you just got from the day before. When you're doing cold calls, you're on top of the freaking world, right? And then, bing, 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 bing. What the hell was that? Oh, it was a red battery on my car. That seems weird. Oh, I should probably call my car mechanic and figure out what's going on. Hello, car mechanic? Yes, Greg. This is what's going on. You're screwed. Oh shit. I should probably take it down. $850 later, new alternator. Son of a bitch. But I did get to drive my mom's brand new. She just picked it up, 126 miles on it, brand new Mercedes. Man, that thing's like flying a freaking spaceship, bro.
So wait. So you had to get your Mercedes fixed, and you accidentally upgraded to an in-between vehicle that's an even nicer Mercedes.
Yep.
All right.
The horrors.
Didn't we discuss this the other day that I didn't have a violin small enough to All right.
Yes. I decided to throw another log
you
on
pipe down over there. We have guests, very important guests to bring in, Greg, for crying out loud. All right. First of all, Leigh Brown. Leigh, how are you?
I'm great, especially now knowing that I don't have to borrow my mom's car ever. So
thank you, Leigh. God, this is getting rough. I thought you were on my awesome. Free show. My God.
I know. Definitely flip.
$2.5 million house's basement, too, then we're going to have an intervention on this show. It's like a whole different format altogether.
That's right. Greg, your actions have affected me in the following ways. All right. Let's bring in Gene as well. Gene Volpe, how are you today?
I don't have a mother. I just want to let you know that. You insensitive prick. I wish I could borrow my mother's car, you bastard. She died. She's dead. Listen, how do you like my toothpaste blue T-shirt?
I think it brings out your eyes. It brings out your eyes. Shade.
So real quick, before we get on to, we've got a question that we can all handle here that'll be a lot of fun. But Leigh, just give people, for anybody that's kind of been hiding under a rock for the last few years and doesn't know who you are and hasn't been to a speaking event or seen one of your many videos on Inman and on your YouTube channel and all that stuff, just kind of fill people in a little bit on who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Well, I'm just a little old realtor in Concord, North Carolina, which is a suburb of Charlotte. I've been a realtor for 17 years, team leader and broker owner of my office, and my partner and I have 11 offices, 300 agents, so I have multiple hats that I wear. I am married with 2 kids and 3 cats, and I run way too much, and I used to sell chainsaws, and I paid for college by bartending and waiting tables, and I mean, I really could go in so many directions here, but frankly, I just came showing property.
Well, here's a no-brainer question. So how long has it been since are you still like semi-active in production? Do you still work with clients actively?
That's why I was almost late to your program here, and I saw y'all sweating bullets. I was out showing property to buyer clients, one of whom was showing me, he runs an Amazon internet business, and he was showing me on his phone how much money he was making while we were standing in the house, and I seriously wanted a career change right at that moment.
Seriously, so back that up a little bit. What is he doing? How is he doing? Explain this whole Amazon thing.
I tried to understand it. Frankly, I asked him if he was buying things from the Chinese people on Alibaba, but he could not tell me the scoop, except that he showed me how much money he made. So we wrote a very good earnest money check, and I think the sellers will be thrilled by that. But I was seriously feeling underclassed by this man who's making some serious jack. And I'm pretty sure he's on the spectrum too. So don't write off the special children because you don't know what they're going to do one day.
Oh, wow.
See, Greg, there's hope for you yet.
I mean, he's got a massive amount of focus. I don't have that much focus. You know how realtors are. We have ADD. We are very unhealthy as a species.
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry, I was reading an email and sending a blog post at the same time. What'd you say?
Exactly. While Facebook Live and
Realtors don't
Instagram.
blog regularly, so you know that's a lie. They blogged like once in 2009 and they quit.
I was talking about a voice blog. Nose pinch.
Oh,
8
man.
minutes deep. And I didn't even do it.
Funny. All right. Well, there's a good question here that I wanted to throw to you guys, and then me and Greg might render our opinions.
Wait a minute before you do it. Wait a minute. How are we just going to gloss over the fact that she sells chainsaws?
That's what I was
All
talking about.
right, good point.
That
Fair
in
point.
there. Come on, if I said that,
Fair
people
point.
would be scared of me, right? She says it, it's charming. How does that work?
You look like a terrorist. I think it's because you got a wallpaper behind you. So I'm just saying, I'm not on the no-fly list, but I was the only woman in sales for Husqvarna, and
That was good.
that was a very fun job because
That was
as it
wonderful.
turns out, the people who run small chainsaw shops, they haven't seen a woman in 25 years. So I'd walk in, so you got to use what you got, as my grandma said.
Wow. Wow. I guess it's a good thing I'm not sensitive. But I am on the no-fly list.
Sort. Yeah.
Well, we're just saying, don't show up to the show like in a wool beanie. That's all we're saying.
Tune in next week.
Yeah,
True,
exactly.
it is June. Wool is out in June, unless it's
Yes.
summer wool.
No, it's hot up here. It's too hot for
Oh
any
my
kind of
God,
wool.
you guys are killing me.
Wow.
I'm just gonna sit here and laugh. I'll be the
man.
the comedian in the corner just chuckling his head off like 25 years not seeing a woman. Wool beanie.
Oh man, this is a very bad combination of four people. I don't know that we're going to get anything done today at all.
Yes,
All right, I'm going to try to rein it in. Is it okay if I try to rein it in for a second? Just for a second.
Yes.
Go
Okay.
give it a try, big fella.
All right, so this is from the Lead Genscription Objections group. It's Philip Suarez who has watched the show. It says, if you're going to write an ebook in lieu of a pre-listing package, what would you include in that ebook? So Leigh, I'm curious if you use like pre-listing packages and stuff like that.
She's already
Start
laughing.
I mean, is it wrong to say that that's a complete and utter waste of time? I mean, come on.
No, please,
the
go
point of your pre-listing book or your package is to pre-build relationship with potential future clients. If you make an ebook and throw it out there on the internet, it is now amongst all the other stuff that's out there, and it's not going to give you anything other than you're probably going to add to your email signature that you've written an ebook. Well, whoopie-skip. Anybody can do that nowadays, so it's not like it was back in Tom Clancy's days, the Hunt for Red October. That would have died as an ebook too, because you wouldn't have read it either. So my pre-listing kits are a hard book, and it's printed on heavy stock and full color, so it looks schwanky. We put a price on the top. It says $99 value, so that when they get it for free, they think it's worth actual money. And then there's a little Tupperware box that gets dropped off with the book that has a little crystal candy dish in it, and it has some Clorox wipes, which they can wipe down the countertops real quick, and got a vanilla scented Glade plug-in, and a couple of other small things like that, the tips for how they can get their house ready and kind of set the stage for us coming in to get them ready. And that box cost me approximately $12 per listing. So you could spend your time writing an ebook, or you could spend the same amount of time writing it and then printing it and giving a hard copy to somebody, which feels more substantial. And as a realtor, you need to show that you are substantial. Otherwise, you're sticking crap on the internet, and after they look at your ebook, what are they going to do? Look at the ads in the right-hand column, and they're going to click on Zillow and hire some premier agent, and then you're going to be on Facebook wailing and gnashing your teeth about how Zillow stole your leads and sold them back to your competitors.
No, Leigh, I'm a bit confused here. What's your opinion on ebooks? I'm not sure.
Well, I have one. My book is available for Kindle, but that is different. It's not a pre-listing package.
Oh my God, you're awesome.
Yeah.
So here's something that we do actually. We had a CD recorded for us by Howard Britton a number of years ago, and on the back right here, if you can see that, it says suggested retail
$39.95.
That's where I got that idea, was from Star Power, and so I guess it came from Terry. I mean, I missed that system so much.
Oh my God, I miss Howard. Leigh, you may have known my father, Terry McDaniel.
Smart. Mark.
Oh yeah. See, big fella right there in the middle. Big T
You're not
Diddy.
supposed to call him big. That's not kind.
Oh well, that's the wine and the chocolate.
He's getting
okay?
smaller. Does that help?
It's a process.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But you said about dropping something off. We have it's a very thick book that we bring, and when you do this, it makes a very good noise. See, I can piss Matt off.
See, Philip, we're not trying to talk smack to you, but we're trying to save you some aggravation because you think it sounds good and green, but unless you're in Portland, Oregon with all those hippies that don't shave their legs, the rest of the world still likes to touch paper, and I'm pretty sure the Portland people do too, but they're not allowed to admit it because it's against the law now.
We and our entire northern West Coast just dropped off the planet.
That's right.
I have followership. Boom, bye-bye. But no,
Well, they're too busy gathering their reusable grocery bags to go to the grocery store since we can't use actual bags anymore.
I have to do that here, and it fucking blows.
Oh.
I have to remember to bring bags.
I never remember to bring them in. They're always in the trunk.
I know. I have so many of them. I have stacks and stacks of my reusable bags, but I never reuse them.
I blame Trader Joe's for that, and it's their fault.
Sons of bitches. Oh, good Lord.
Is Jeff going to fix that now that Whole Foods has been bought by Amazon? Are they going to stop the madness over bags?
God, I hope so.
I hope so.
Matt, you're not doing a very good job of wrangling today.
No, well, Gene we're making sure that we are actually, in fact, live. Yes, we are. And Gene, the question is, yes, we are right now live. So, Gene, your opinion on ebooks, so versus printed, shock and awe package, the whole 9 yards. Feel free to chime in.
Listen, I would go with the realtors on this one. I'm a marketing guy, so obviously any piece of content I could get out there. I personally would not write the ebook myself. I probably would take a couple bucks and have somebody write it for me, put my marketing material all over it. I would use it specifically, and I wouldn't just throw it onto the internet and have it. Well, yeah, I would do that too, but I would target it specifically to capture leads from it. But I would also do what Leigh said. I think it's a great idea. I think there's power behind, when you go out somewhere and you say like, hey, by the way, I have this little thing that could really help you. And even if we don't do business together, I'm just going to leave this with you. If you get 2 little nuggets out of it, fantastic. It was great talking to you. Well, we talked about this before. That picture and your info is now on their coffee table or somewhere where, in a lot of cases, they're not going to throw it away. So that leave behind is a big thing. There's so many services these days. You don't have to write the ebook yourself. You get somebody else to write it off your topic, and then you put your voice around it.
I was going to say, Greg, your book is written. How much of it was which was your responsibility there?
Matt, don't demean me because I have dyslexia. I labored over that. So I had to click one email and say, "Oh, there it is. Forward on to Matt."
Yeah, exactly. Forward on to Matt to give to our producer to proofread. All right. So I am in full agreement. Leigh, are you a big? You have to be a big Dan Kennedy fan, right?
Who?
Dan Kennedy? What? The no BS realtor, the shock and awe package.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm the no BS realtor. So did he steal my name? Is that why I should know who he is?
Dan Kennedy? Oh man, I can't tell whether you're fucking with me or not. I hope so. Good Lord. Oh man.
Wait, she got Matt to curse. I don't know that I ever heard him say that before. That was pretty good.
Me neither. Leigh, hey, props to you.
Hey, that was good.
He needs to go to a baseball game and drink a beer and relax. We've already established that he needs baseball in his life.
Leigh, we should pitch in and buy him his first baseball hat. You know what? He's in Southern California, so let's buy him a Giants hat and make him wear it to the game, to a Dodgers game.
Yeah, Matt's not laid back enough. He's not laid back enough.
Oh my God, I know. My assistant said I'm a little. What'd she say? Wired a little too tight or something like that.
Wound a little too tight.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no. She said the same thing to me, so it's not. She's telling to the world, buddy. So. Yeah.
I get some scotch in this cup.
I have so much I want to say right now, but it's not appropriate. So
please. No, it's uncensored. This is uncensored. You can say whatever you want. Promise. It's a safe treat.
Lay it on me. Come on.
I can see that my terrorist friend knows what I was thinking, but he's just a check game.
Oh my God.
I'm glad I went to
funny.
the gym this morning because I get my second ab workout today with you guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Gene, I don't know if you can follow that, but quickly, do you have anything? Do you want to try to follow that mic drop with anything?
She's killing me today. I think it's great.
She is killing you.
It doesn't bother my wife. I got to show my wife this. She's gonna love Leigh immediately. She's telling you. She tells me all the time. Last time we went flying, she said, "If we get pulled out of line again because of your beard, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you." Guess who got pulled out of line? She did, not me. She did. That's right. That's right. I always tell people. I laugh. I said, "Listen, I'm getting a free feel right now. Just make sure you get the right guy. I'm good. No, go ahead. Like this. So listen. Actually, it's a pretty good drawing. Let's talk about assets. You want to talk about assets? No,
Yeah,
I'm not talking about my great ass. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about marketing assets. So
Okay.
I want to I'm going to switch this around this week,
Okay.
and I want to talk a little bit about content and building content. So over the last couple of weeks, I've had the opportunity to speak to a bunch of realtors, and one of the things that I continuously hear, and we're talking specifically social media, but the one thing I consistently hear is I'm not posting that much. It gets annoying to people. I can't post that much. Just don't post that much. Listen, stop. You can't post too much. The algorithms and these platforms want you to be there. So the more you post, the more organic you're going to get, right? Or the more the people that post for you do. Like on Facebook, activity breeds results and organic reach. Okay. So don't be afraid of doing it a couple times a day. More than 3 times a week is not good enough. But the next question always becomes, well, I don't know what I would post. So what I talk to them about is marketing assets, and just think of the concept of breaking a listing down. And Leigh was just talking about a listing when we first came on, I think, or maybe before we took the break. Greg was talking about his listing that he was at, the $2.2 million listing. There's elements of that house that can be broken up and used in different spots in your marketing campaign. For example, the broker's open, the open house, the fact that there's a bidding war, the kitchen, the Viking range, the outdoor back pool. Think about the top 10 assets, and each picture on your listing and each video that you do, you in front of we're big on video here, right? So you in front of the house going in for a walkthrough, pre-inspection, all these things are assets you can use in the marketing of that property. And the reason why it's important to break it up like that is because you're not showing the same virtual tour over and over and over again. So by the 8th time your guy sees it, he's like, that's enough with the same crap. Mm-hmm. So now I'm looking at different elements of the house, and I'm putting myself in the kitchen with my Italian family. And can I feel it? Can I see it? And if I can, maybe that's a phone call I make to the realtor. I see myself out in the backyard with no shirt on, right? In the pool. Greg, right, Greg? No shirt, right?
Why are you picking on me?
I don't know. I wasn't really. I was just asking if you knew what I was talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Right? So
Nudie
the
pics.
Asset part of it, nudie pics, put those in your listing. See how that works for you. There are different elements of a property that you can use for your content throughout the week. So take those elements, spread them out evenly in your scheduling on each platform, and then get everybody a really good look at different days at those different assets. So, and you intertwine that stuff with your other your general articles.
So would you do something along the lines like would you do it in a chronological order? So you would do first like, hey, me walking into the house, talking about the front yard, talking about the location. Hey, let's go take a look at it. Watch for my next video. You'll see the kitchen, the living room, the backyard, the pool, whatever it is, right? Do you do it in a chronological order, or is it just a mismatch of you could start off, you're out by the pool. Hey guys, summer's here. You can see you and your friends and family having pool parties and barbecues, kicking out in the backyard, yada, yada. I mean, help me understand the order of that, and would they be individually spliced ads that you would then run? So you could literally have up to 10 ads running, all about the same house, all talking about different aspects of the house simultaneously?
Well, yeah. Now, so you just bumped. So the answer to your question is yes, across the board. I would do all of that stuff. Obviously, we're limited on time in certain situations, right? Now, you just bumped it up a notch. I was just talking about general posting, where we're not putting any advertising dollars. These are your 1,000 followers that are seeing your content, right? Now we could talk another level if we want to do advertising and throw dollars at it. That's a whole nother story. But to your point, there's 2 pieces to that. So the one would be sporadically just throwing stuff up. And for a guy like me, that works because I don't really need a sequence. I just want to see it when it's there, and I'm off to the next thing. That's my ADHD kicking. But there's also the other element of familiarity and expectation. So if you have people that are following you that know every Monday you're going into the house, and every Wednesday you're going to do a highlight of the kitchen, and then every Friday we're going to do the podcast, and every Tuesday we're doing an open house, and they expect to see that and they're comfortable with that regularity, then they're more likely to follow you too. So you're appealing to both types of people in that particular sense. Well, here's what I would say. Like, this is a game. Try it all. I mean, you have this with you. Turn it on. do a couple things, throw it, see what gets the activity going and the engagement and the conversation, and then guess what? Do it again.
I was thinking how you could stair step and layer this. So you do one video, you run them for, let's say, 5 days, right? So you release a video every single day for 5-10 days, whatever it is. So at your max point, you'll have 5 to 10 videos running out there about the property, and then they'll slowly dwindle off. It'll appear to the average consumer that you never go away, and they're always showing something different aspect about the house. And it could be literally a 30-second to a minute video, so it won't take a lot of time. But I mean, if I had let's say five videos from Gene about 123 Main Street and USA Anywhere. But it would look potentially like maybe you had like 10 or 12 different properties, because the master bedroom, the pool, the front yard, and everything else gets all mismatched. I probably, as a consumer, will forget it's one house. It's just you as a super agent.
Well, not only that, imagine if I had 4 properties. Now you're talking about 20 videos over a month period. Now here's what you're getting out of people's perceptions, reality, and that perception becomes, God damn, this dude's everywhere, and he's got every listing in the whole neighborhood. I got to call him, right? Mm-hmm. So that's an element of it too. And I don't think this can get overwhelming for a lot of agents, because they're thinking like, how am I going to put this together? I got to edit it. Maybe even one a week at this point. So every Monday you do your one property. Every Tuesday the second property comes out. By the end of the month, you have every day filled with content. So, I mean, there's so many ways to skin this cat. Not that I skin cats, but there's so many ways to do it. Folks. Yeah, I don't.
That's gonna be the key quote from the episode. Right next to a picture of you against
you
your
should send it to me. I'll promote it. I promise.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Leigh, so I want you to jump in, because you have some interesting facial expressions. I know some things you agree with. Some I could tell you're skeptical about the frequency thing. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that. And feel free to spank Gene like a 4-year-old in Kmart on that. What's your opinion on that as far as posting too much or too little?
Okay, so I kill it on social media, and it's my content. So when I hear anybody, no offense, Gene, but if you tell people to post whatever you want as often as you want, most realtors suck, and they put crap out there. So if they're going to keep posting the same crap that they're posting now at a higher frequency, they're going to damage themselves. I don't think that it's necessarily helpful. I mean, yes, Facebook likes a page that has organic improvements to it, but if you keep posting the same crap about broker opens and virtual tours, and I got this listing, and houses are flying off the shelves, and I showed 18 houses today, which is most realtor posts. That's what it falls in, one of those categories. So if they keep posting that over and over, the reactions to those posts are going to go down, fewer likes, fewer comments. And if you don't get likes and comments, Facebook suppresses your content. As you know, you've got to have stuff that people are willing to engage with. So I agree that you've got to have good frequency, but I think that you've got to have at least some fraction of a plan for content that makes sense for your audience. And so when I look at a listing, I love this idea of doing 10 little videos, but then you made the classic realtor scary moment happen when you said you can edit. Okay, so then you turned off everybody listening because they freak out because they don't know how to do that. Yeah. I don't edit shit. You can tell this by looking at my stuff, because I use my iPhone, and if you hold it sideways, because you don't get the black bars beside your face, I hold my camera here so my chins go down, and I make all my videos right here with my phone, and then I post them. I don't edit them. I don't know how to use filters and make it look prettier and enhancements and all of that, because I don't have the bandwidth for it, and I'm too cheap to hire it out. And most realtors do have a smartphone, but the reason they don't use video is not because they don't know what to say. It's because they think they're fat and old and ugly and stupid, and they're afraid that they'll expose that to the world if they make a video. Well, I like to remind them that their clients will find out anyway that they're old and fat and ugly and stupid. And they so if you'll do this, I'm thinking now I should have done this while showing. I could have made a half a dozen little 15-second videos I could run as ads. But there's a real connectivity to the consumer when you make a selfie video, because they feel like it's you. It's unpolished. It's very genuine. And what I find is that when my thumbnails on my videos look like this, I look really retarded, then people click on it at a higher rate than if I look professional, because then they assume I'm going to have some canned script. So honestly, realtors should try to look slightly retarded, but not use bad grammar or spelling. You can offset that look with the words that you use. But there's so many things that make sense here. And in regard to what to say, this is where realtors get themselves hung up, because they all want to sound like a book. but you should never sound like a book. That's not what your clients like about you. So think about what you say over and over. You mentioned the walkthroughs and the inspections and surveys and looking at the kitchen. So a lot of us say the same scripts over and over. We've been well trained and we know what we say, and we're replicating it whether we meant to or not. So video those moments, and then let your video advertise who you are. Say, this is what it's like to look at a house with me. Can you believe we saw this? Because that's who the buyers want to hang out with. They don't want to hang out with some stick insect who's perfect all the time. They want to hang out with somebody who's pulling her Spanx up when she gets out of the car and is wearing pantyhose, because that's how you can find out if the house has fleas. That's why I wear pantyhose in the summer, because I can then swipe the fleas off and they don't bite me. This is a very true fact. So I realized I haven't made a video about that, and I could, because people react to that. They want you to be a human, because that's why they need us for real estate. If they wanted you to be perfect, they would use Zillow. But they're using you because of what you bring to the table already. So you can repurpose all of this content. So you're walking through a listing, maybe don't make it specific to that listing. Don't use the address and the price. Talk about what you do in the process, and now you've used your one listing to be evergreen content that you could simultaneously post to YouTube, because YouTube is better for evergreen content, because Facebook is for the ADD. It rolls through your timeline and it's gone. So my best videos are 30 seconds or less. I mean, it's these little short snippets that don't make anybody have to stop and process, because consumers don't want to process information.
Well, no, we don't have the bandwidth to do it anymore. I mean, our attention is literally less than a goldfish. So, I mean, we're just like, whoo, shiny thing. And we're often looking at something else. Like Jean's face. I want us to go back and screenshot Jean's face right there. That was the best face ever.
And I'll say too, like what Jean was saying with the videos of that listing, if you're not paying really good attention to how Facebook ads work, you can actually, I found this from Michael Thorne. He is my favorite realtor video guy. He's in Canada. He's with Remax Little Oak or something, but freaking brilliant. And so he gave me this idea and we ran with it. You can show that video to a radius of a specific property address. And so we were previously showing our videos in zip codes and in neighborhoods and stuff, but now our property specific videos show within a 1 mile radius of the property, so that only the neighbors that are close enough to actually drive by my sign will see the video. And so we're spending less, but the engagement rate has tripled by using that radius tool. And you just have to go a little bit deeper setting your ads to do it. It's not a basic post, but it's worth a few 5 extra minutes.
Yeah, it is pretty easy. And if you guys honestly don't have a clue about what we're talking about right now, honestly, this is what I did.
Upwork.com.
What?
Upwork.com. Hire some little offshore person to do it.
I actually posted Upwork into the chat notes, guys, if you guys have any questions. But what I did is I hired Gene, and he is my evil ninja social media genius who can take care of it for you, who has got some very cool shit, by the way. But yeah, if you don't understand what the fuck we're talking about, go hire someone who does. End of story. Don't waste your time. You get paid to list homes, show homes, negotiate contracts, write contracts, and that's all you get paid for. You do not get paid to market. End of story. So don't do it. Hire someone who does get paid to do it. Move on. Sell more homes. Your wife will love you more. Your kids will respect you. End of story. There.
Oh my God, that was awesome. All right, so quick question from Bob St. John says, for Leigh, are you using your personal or business page?
So Bob, my business page is for real estate stuff. So if you follow my business page, you will see the virtual tours and the open houses and the videos and the community content, and it is not very fun. My personal page is where I showcase all of my personality, and it's because I have 2 different audiences on the pages. My friends and family in my sphere do not want to talk real estate. And so my real estate page is to promote my listings and generate new bodies to join my world. My personal page is my world. So when I talk real estate there, it's either training for realtors, because y'all follow me at a very high rate, and it's also my clients who are hilariously entertained by my videos, even if they're not in real estate. But I talk about my kids, and we talk about our vacations and talk about life lessons and stuff like that. And what I want you to think about is this. If you're putting virtual tours and broker opens and very, very pushy real estate crap on your personal page, nobody's watching that. They've gone to the little upper right-hand corner and click and hide post from this person, and you don't know, because they don't want to unfriend you because that's confrontational, but they're not looking at you because you're annoying. And think about that as if you go to supper with people and you're sitting at a six top, and if you didn't ever wait tables, that's a table for six. And so you're at a six top and you sit down and you start talking about open houses and how houses are flying off the shelves, and you're just hashtag blessed because you had 8 closings this month. They will get up and walk away from the table and be done with you, because that's when you abuse Facebook. You don't sit down at the table and advertise, but you could talk about your business. And so would I talk about the pond I saw today that was covered in scum at $1 million house? Yes, I might, because that's shocking and disgusting, but it drives home the point that I'm working in real estate in a way that engenders conversation. So everything you say on your personal page should build conversation. My business page is a business card for my business. I could probably make more business happen if I did more of my personal stuff over there, but what I'm doing right now works, and I'm not gonna, my axle's not dragging, I'm not gonna upset that cart. So you can do it the way you want to do it, but for God's sake, stop being a damn machine on your Facebook. If your profile picture is you with your yard sign, I won't take your friend request. And if your cover art is you with a sold sign or your company promising I'm going to sell your house in 60 days or sell it for free, I'm just going to make you go away because, oh, what if your name is Bob Jones Remax? I don't care what company you're with. It's not part of your name unless that is your last name, in which case, bless. So you got to think about this. The consumer is referred to you. So I get this a lot. So somebody says, oh, my friend was going to call, said your friend was going to call me and they never called. And I said, they Googled you and they looked at all your social profiles and they said, I ain't calling this one because they're going to sell me something. So people look at my personal page, which is completely public. There's no reason to have anything on lockdown in your timeline, your about. And realtors drive me crazy on this, by the way, which is why I'm soapboxing. I'm so sorry, but you boys seem to be rolling with it. But if I go to your friends, and I can't see what city you're in, what company you're with, and your phone number, your email address, or any of that. First of all, you're out of compliance with your real estate commission. But secondly, why in the world do you think some consumer is going to chase a rabbit trail trying to get a hold of you? They're going to see all of that and say, well, if they're going to sell my house, how's the buyer going to get a hold of them? You are not allowed to be private if you're in real estate. The world has taken that away from us. There is a drone following me around. I know I'm on the no-fly list, and that's fine. It's happening to you too. So remember that personal page should be, it's got to be you, just 100% you, so that when they meet you in business, they're like, I don't even interview anybody else because I already feel like I know you, and that's what I get back from that. And so on your business page, that can be your business card. Your sellers will be happy because you're showcasing them on Facebook, and that's where you run all your ads through. But for heaven's sake, stop being a machine.
Yeah, you know what, Leigh, about 2+ years ago, and stop. Boom, you get the hand. Do not fuck with the hand. It will smack you.
Oh,
I did not hit you. You ran into my hand. I don't know what to do. But here's the truth is that, Leigh, I love your soapbox. I'm going to jump right on top with you. The fact is that about 2 years ago, I was sitting around after barbecuing with my brothers down in Texas. We'd been drinking some beers, having some fun. My brothers were having some dipshit conversation about some stupid ass topic. I'm like, what am I going to do? Ooh, play with my new laptop. I decided to, at that moment, I took my personal Facebook page and I turned it into a business Facebook page blended with my real life. And at the, how this is titled outrageously, authentic. I decided to be 100% authentic onto that page, and I get incredible reaction and interaction. But if I do post something about a house, it is always entertaining and educational. It is answering questions on Facebook Live. It's never like, this is the living room. This is the dining room. This is the God, that's fucking boring. And nobody wants it. But Pat, if you bring your flair, like Gene, Matt, Leigh, we all have our own different personalities, and all of us are going to attract different folks that are going to work with us. And I think that if you showcase who you really are and stop hiding behind the corporate bullshit, they were like, we gotta dress it up there, Sonny, and I want to see a tie on you. I'll be like, good working with you.
Well, no, now I'm gonna say you should wear a tie. We have got an issue with professional dress in this business, and too many realtors are wearing blue jeans with holes in it and downgrading how important this financial investment. But you are not with clients right now. You can go to a listing appointment in those breeches or not, because your mother would sit with you. You could throw a blazer on that collared shirt if you want to, but you know what I'm talking about. Consumers don't believe we're worth the money because we don't dress like we're worth the money. You've got to dress like you want it. I'm sorry, I am a snob about that, but it's for real. These people showing their boobs and things, and
Matt,
Wait, what's going on now? Who's showing their boobs?
Yeah, back that bus up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're glossing over that. What's going on
Matt
now?
woke up.
All I'm gonna say is my husband hasn't seen good boobs like that in 20 years, and he ain't gonna see them now if I go to list a house. I'm not gonna bring them in my house and compete with me. But it does kind of drive me crazy. But back to what you were saying, I was just interrupting about professional dress because it's one of my beefs. But you would put khakis on if you went to an appointment. You are just playing me.
No, I wear
I don't actually think he is. I've spoken with him, so yeah.
I'm I live in pot smoking, liberal hippie country. So I mean, everything's like free range and like, let's hug a tree, we'll save it.
Oh, so the fact that you showered is dressing up. I see what you're saying here.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't shave though. But I did shower. So
you got to make sure you have your Kashi trail mix on the way into the listing appointment, though.
I mean, honestly, the way that I talk about to realtors about this is you should be +1 over your client mix. So you should be +1. If they would wear a T-shirt and you're wearing a collared polo, you're +1. We have to do better as an industry because we have let it go way too far.
No, I agree with you on that one, but you have to dress like your clients who you're going to be working with, but do step it up one notch. Yes, I joke around. No, I do not wear holy jeans when I go, God bless you, son. Not those kind of holy jeans.
I'm in the Bible Belt. The Lord is going to strike you dead if you don't mean what you just said.
Oh, I know. Trust me. My mom's going to kill me too. But, what I'm saying here is that I wear jeans, but I wear Vans tennis shoes, but I do wear a professional dress shirt with a sports coat when I go on meetings. But I'm not meeting with anybody today. Like I said earlier, I was going to wear a baseball hat today. Mm-hmm. But then I wanted to step it up for you, Leigh, because I knew you were going to come on and class to join up.
I was also going to say, too, about the opinion thing. A lot of realtors refuse to go into the authentic mode because they're afraid of offending somebody, which is apparently the national pastime in America now, which is being offended. And it's not really any secret in my life that I am pro-life and I am pro-gun and I am pro-Bible. So that's the world that I live in. And if somebody doesn't agree with me and won't use me because of that, frankly, I'd much rather find out about that now and let them find somebody else they can work with, because there's a butt for every saddle. But the clients who like where I stand include some wild liberals. They like me because they know that what I say is what I think, and they would value that in their realtor. It's not always about your precious party stands, because people have got to get down. They got to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that, because I would rather know about who I'm working with up front, and they know about me. They accept me. I tell people I don't dress up. I'm a more casual guy, and I hope they're okay. Never lost a listing that I've shown up for when I give them the heads up, and guess what their response is? Oh, that's totally cool, man. We are too. I'm like, oh, perfect.
Because you set the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't come in there and blindside them, and everything in our business is about setting expectations. It's back to that original question about a pre-listing kit. You're setting the expectation for what are they going to get in the whole time that they deal with you. If all they get is you showing up at the door with your 3 pre-printed comps from the MLS, you try to fake it when you get there, that's why they're not hiring you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the authenticity part that we're really talking about here, is owning who you are and not being ashamed about it. So many people, I talk to them all the time, like Stefan Adika. He's becoming a fast friend of mine, and Matt, and the shows, and he's just a great dude. But I can say it because this is what he calls himself. He calls himself a Jew from Brooklyn, right? And he got a Brooklyn tattooed right across his chest, and big old tattoos all over his arms and everything. And he has a big old tattoo right here on his hand, right? He went into a listing appointment and he tried to put cover up on it. He was sweating like a whore in church. And I said, Stefan, you need to stop being a bitch and be yourself. He has picked up more listings and working with more buyers ever since he owned who he was and didn't care what other people thought. And people love it. They're eating it up like ice cream with a big spoon. And I think that's what people need to understand, is that they are uniquely amazing unto themselves, but they try to jam themselves in this corporate box that's not them. Then they feel all funky. Everybody's knows that they feel funky. They go to the listing appointment, it's awkward, and then they don't get the listing. Like, why? I did everything right, except.
Oh, good. So since Stefan is a friend of the show, I didn't know him, so I went to look at his Facebook page while you were telling us how awesome he is.
Dude, he's
and
awesome.
His profile picture is his logo. So for somebody who's not corporate, he doesn't have his face on there. So he should put his face on there, because I bet it's just a very delightful one. And I go to his about page and I don't have any way to reach him. He's got all his contact information on lockdown. So Stefan, if you're watching the show, go make
Stefan
it.
Stefan Adika.
Come on. Come
some
on,
pretty
man.
ink. I might want to say, hey, you got nice ink, but I can't because you don't give me a way to contact you.
Actually, you should see his cover photo. It's of him tatted up, holding his brand new little
I
baby
know.
girl,
That's
the
why
little
I see
infant.
the ink in the cover art, but then his personal picture is his logo. I don't want to see a logo. I don't give two rips about that. I want to see your eyes. The soul is in the eyes.
I think Gene is frantically typing away on Facebook. He's like, "What's my profile photo? What's my profile photo?"
Nope.
I know. Dika's going to change that right away.
Yeah,
Yes, because I really want to know who this guy is, because you just said all the great things about him. But if I'm a random consumer and I look this up, I don't even know that he's in real estate because it just says, no, it does say realtor, but I don't know. I mean, I can't tell, but I want to know because you just said he was. So you gave a great recommendation. The public doesn't always get the same opportunity.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
they don't.
Well, speaking of, Leigh, I want to give you a chance to tell people kind of where to get the book, and then there's something that caught my eye just in terms of what you cover it that I would love to have you go into before we close out the show. So first of all, where do they get the book, and then I'll ask my question.
Well, it's on Amazon.com. If you get the Audible version,
It's like a real book, not an ebook. It's a real book. You can actually get it on Amazon.
I narrated the Audible myself, and a friend of mine from high school, he has a basement with a sound studio, and so we recorded it there. And that's one of the fun things about Facebook is if you tell people you need something, you get to reconnect with your past, and you don't have to hire a bunch of random offshore people, which was so cool. And so anyway, hardback though, that's not on Amazon because I was too cheap to let them have it. So it sits in my garage. And if you go to outrageousauthenticity.com, which is, I know a lot of syllables for the realtor public, but you should still go to it and order a hardback. My children will have a summer job because I make them pack and address the books and send them out. And I might
that is awesome.
Child labor. I love it.
That's right. Guys, if you'd like to create a job in this country.
They're not paying a mortgage, so they're going to have to do something.
That's funny. Oh, my God. Outrageousauthenticity.com. All right. So there was something in there about the bullet points of the book, which is brand yourself consistently. So I'm curious, Leigh, like how have you were you intentional about kind of how you branded yourself, or was your brand a natural consequence of just your personality and social media giving you the platform to kind of be yourself? Like how intentional were you about what your brand is in your market as a realtor?
I was unintentional. It's all happened by accident. And I look back at the mistakes I've made in my real estate career. The biggest one I made was not figuring this out sooner. And so I do love to talk about branding and consistency in branding with realtors because a lot of them are lost. They think that what they do is put a house on the market and bring an offer, and then they say they have marketing, but they don't market anything. They are putting pictures on the internet. That is not marketing. That's a different soapbox for a different day. But anyway, they don't know what they're doing. And they get paid, and then somebody asks them, will you take less commission dollars? And they wind up saying yes because they don't understand the value that they provide. And part of the value that I provide to the client is my unique personality and my take on real estate and my take on marketing. So they need to figure this out sooner than I did, because for years I followed the really successful realtors, because being a part of the Star Power system at the very beginning, and when my dreams was to be a star, and I never got that dream because Howard has passed on before I got to my stride. But there was all this amazing opportunity to follow people like Terry and people like Bob Bolin and Alexis Bolin and Buddy West and Craig Lurch and all of these really killer rock star agents. And I wanted to do what they did. So I copied their branding and I copied their marketing and did what they did and hired the people who put them together. But that was never me. It was, my business was really strong. I mean, I've been one of the top agents in Charlotte for probably 14 years now. And I've built a lot of that, but it would have built faster and sooner had I understood better what my value proposition was, which has nothing to do with MLS and websites and the stuff everybody else can do, and everything to do with who I am and how I relate to clients. So when I became more cognizant of what my brand needed to look like, it was during the recession. And if you're watching this and you're a newer realtor who didn't live through the recession, get ready. Another one's coming. Get educated right now, because it doesn't stay high forever. We're a cyclical business. I, for one, can't wait for the next downturn because I know how to react and how to help people. So you need to be getting educated right now on short sales and foreclosures. That's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, during the downturn, a lot of realtors were slow to react. And y'all know this. It took them like 2 and 3 years to understand that the market had gone down. They were slow. They're working at Home Depot and Lowe's and the grocery store because they could not figure out how to make the phones ring. And what we did as a team was get crazy educated on short sales and foreclosure so that we could offer solutions to people. And then the average home seller who needed to sell, this wasn't a let's test the market and see what happens. This was a the house has to go away situation. My competitors would either walk in like this, it's never going to sell, or they would walk in with, well, we can try your price, sure, with the typical realtor thing of I don't have the foggiest idea how to price a house, so you want to try that number? That sounds wonderful to me. Sign here and we'll reduce later if it doesn't work. So that's who I was competing against. And I walked in and I'm like, my number one script then and now is this. Before I say a stitch of anything to a client, it's, do I have your permission to be honest with you? They always say yes. And then I can give them the straight and honest truth. Here's the facts, just the facts, ma'am. And then you can make a decision as to whether this is the right time for you or not. And so the word of mouth was like wildfire during that time of, man, if you just need to get somebody that will give you the straight truth, Leigh is a no bullshit realtor. So my clients named me the no bullshit realtor. They were telling other people, call the no bullshit realtor, because I would walk in and say, it can happen. We can do it. Here's what we're going to have to do, because that's what people wanted. And so once I figured out that I could take my very direct personality, because I am not a networker, I am awful at mingling. I hate talking to people on the phone. I'm an introvert by nature. And so when I figured out that I could take all of those things and make it a benefit to myself and to my clients, I was able to drill in and make my business explode. And then when I figured out video, which was 2011, when I had my Bank of America video that went viral, and that was when I think most realtors found out who I was, that was a big aha moment of a very honest rant of reality can be the exact thing that saves your clients from the hell that is dealing with a bank. And so my videos are always very direct. I lean into my humor because that's who I am. And it's made my business explode, but I understand consistency now. I didn't understand it back then. So if you're a newer realtor watching this, you have got to read the book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why. You have to read that book and figure out why you wanted to do this and why you get up in the morning, because if it's about the dollars, you are going to fail. Get out of the business. The people who are in this for money don't last. If you do things the right way, the money will find you. But you cannot be about commission dollars. You cannot do real estate because you love the flexible hours, because it's a 24/7 business and it will eat you alive if you are being a Pop-Tart realtor available to everybody. So it can't be about that. And you can't be in this business because you like it to change every day. For heaven's sake, it does change every day. But if you don't have the personality to figure out how to address a confrontation and deal with it and roll on, get the hell out of this business, because I am so tired of agents that hide from me when the problem is going on because they are scared of confrontation and they want rainbows and unicorns and glitter and sunshine. That is not what our business is about. That's what happens when you get to the end, but it's not there most of the way through. So if you think about it, why you do real estate is probably because you like to educate people, or you enjoy problem solving, or you just enjoy relationship building. Those are things that can sustain you over the long term, and it's also what you can build your brand on, and then you can hire the terrorists to really build you a brand. In fact, you should make that your tagline. It's like,
hire the terrorists.
It's about your marketing, because the terrorists have focus. I mean, they are like dedicated.
I'm going to blow up your business.
Blow up your inbox.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Gene, we'll put our heads together afterwards. We're coming up with a new marketing plan for you, buddy.
I like it.
Oh my God, you're growing out that beard. A little bit longer. A little bit longer. Yeah.
You're investing in a lot of beanies.
That's right. A lot of beanies. A lot of loose.
Trying to see if I have one laying around real quick. I'm looking for one.
You have come on the show a couple of times with it on too.
Oh yeah, no question.
Oh,
no, but
man.
Leigh, it's really fun to have, from one star power star, we are going to dub you a star on this show every time you come on, because I feel you deserve it. So I have anointed you a star of Real Estate Uncensored. Raise the roof, player.
Well, there's my proof that I'm a middle-aged white person right there. There you go.
Oh my God. Oh man, that's funny. All right, I was going to give Greg a hard time about that when he was complaining about hopping into his mom's Mercedes.
I stole that moment from you. So sorry.
I know. First of all, so my big question for you, Leigh, is how in the world do you do a video that's under 30 seconds? Is it just that you don't allow somebody to get you on a roll before you hit record?
Oh, honey, those are for Facebook Live, because as you know, and we can get the thumbs up I'm right. From the corner down here, the Facebook Live time frame that is optimal is 5 to 15 minutes because you want to give Facebook Live a chance to create an audience for you. So you've got the soapbox and say something that's longer. You do it on Facebook Live, but the other short ones, I mean, I just know how to get in and get out. I don't ever tell anybody that I'm number one and I've sold 1 million houses and I'm a multi-million-dollar producer and I have 17 years experience, blah, 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 blah. My video says I'm Leigh Brown with Remax. You saw my sign in that yard over there where the yellow house is. The inside scoop is that it's listed for $350 and the websites don't know that yet, but you do because you're a neighbor. So call me if you want to help me pick your neighbors. That's 25 seconds. And that's all it has to be is your name, your company connected to a sign. That's what it's about. Too many realtors want to say, oh, it's 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath with a lovely bonus room, and it's got an office with some built-in shelving. Who cares about all that? They get that from Zillow. You need to be the one who will get them in the door and tell them something they can't see in the photos.
And that can be in part of your listing presentation, guys. I will do things that the online sites cannot do to attract more buyers for your home in a shorter amount of time. Do you think that's valuable to help you sell your home in a shorter amount of time?
You can say, I hope we'll sell in a shorter amount of time. Because the most dangerous thing realtors have done in their marketing is promise the highest price in the shortest amount of time with the fewest hassles, and that's 3 promises nobody can keep. So you got to be careful with your wording.
Well, of course you do, but then you wind it back with the CYA clause. But you know the listing price can shift $50,000 any given Sunday, so we're gonna really need to get to work and put on our armor and get on our white steed and go to battle for you. So we need your permission to get moving. That's actually a Terry quote.
How many times have you heard that, Greg?
More than a few. This is the quote. Well, Matt, Julie, and your 3 obese little wood denting, insulin sucking little babies. You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna put on our battle armor. We're gonna go to battle for you, and we're gonna get the highest and best price for you. But we're gonna need to work together as a team on this. So if you want to sign the listing agreement tonight, we can start working on it first thing tomorrow morning for you. But I just want to make sure that we're seeing everything on the same page. End of story. Stares at him dead in the face. After he does a squiggly line thing, I just still don't get. But
is that this thing is straight and then swiggle straight?
No, he does like a L shape and then he does a line straight up the middle. Then he just doodles and makes stars and circles and other weird shit. And it appears to the client that he actually knows what he's talking about. I honestly just thinking he's just making art. He's bored. He's done so many times.
Then if he says that this results in an 87% increase in sales, and you just make up a statistic with confidence, they'll believe everything he says.
That's right. It's always 87%
of the time. We're 82% of the time, we're 94.6% right. So
87% of the time you use a statistic, it's 87%.
I actually have a stat right here, dude. Where is it? 87% of your training is lost in 90 days after the training if it's not used. It's right here.
Yeah, did you know that 67% of all Did you know that 67% of all stats are made up on site on the spot?
Right. Just Greg's. Just all of Greg's.
No, it's 100%, dude.
Fear the beard. Fear the beard gene. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to wrap this up, but let's wrap this up. So Leigh, remind us again where we can connect with you and then how we get the book. Because I've lost not only did I lose my certification as Greg Wrangler, I never had a shot at getting a certification as a Leigh Brown Wrangler. I mean, it was just not in the cards. Not in the cards.
Nobody wants that job. Nobody wants it. That's my husband. I call him my first husband for a reason. I just hope he sticks around. But you can get my book at outrageousauthenticity.com. But primarily, I hang out on Facebook. I am Leigh Thomas Brown on Facebook. It will tell you I have too many friends to accept you, but that's all right. Just follow because I post publicly because I hate the idea of doing a fan page because I'm just averse to that. And if you want to get politically fun with me, I'm very political on Twitter. I'm at Leigh Brown over there. And if you are a snowflake, then we will probably be at odds. So you should go on and block me now.
I love that.
Man, that's awesome.
Oh, there is no sugarcoating it with you, Leigh, and I love the authenticity because it is like a refreshing, clean glass of water from mountain stream, not polluted by us liberals here in the San Francisco Bay Area.
You're gonna get a lot of hate comments on Facebook there.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
I know the good liberals, but they don't troll. It's the bad liberals that troll, like the bad conservatives troll. That's why I'm a Demopublican Republicrat. My people are very unrepresented right now.
You're a what?
Demopublican?
I'm a Demopublican Republicrat. That means that I don't really care who you sleep with, but stay out of my wallet. And that's my people, and we are unrepresented in the world.
Don't they call those libertarians?
No, those people are crazy. I shaved my legs.
Oh.
That's why I gave you one of them.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So, Gene, remind us of how to connect with you.
I'm just curious as to how many people we offended during this broadcast.
Oh,
I
90%
hope
of
all of them.
If
87%.
not, then we have failed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
here, ready? Here's what we do: GeneVolpe.com. So go to GeneVolpe.com.
Soon to be known as terrorist branding, we will blow up your business.
That's right.
I mean, seriously, that should totally happen because if you don't use it, it's a wasted moment.
Yeah.
I'm on the listen. I'm on the fence.
Terrorist.
I'm
You
on.
said
I'm on
get
the,
exposed.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, but that's I don't know. I got to think about it. I'm gonna run it by the boss. See what she says.
Ask your wife. See if she agrees with me or not.
She's in there.
Actually,
Believe me, I will.
These guys are going to say, just paint the living room so you don't look so scary anymore.
I don't think. Listen, if that's all that I had to do, it would have been done. Believe me.
Oh, man.
Oh, by the way, Leigh, we are getting just a torrent of comments. People are just loving, like, Caberback is a reoccurring guest, not me, made my day. So people are just like loving this. They're probably all are in stitches like we are here. And I think, in all honesty, I mean, that's why Matt and I created the Real Estate Uncensored version of these podcasts so that we can talk shit and really say what's on our mind. Having people on like you that really talk your mind is a refreshing part of life because people are so PC in every fucking thing they do in life. You get so vanilla on life. There's no variety of anything because people are afraid of hurting everyone's feelings. It could be in the pricing that they do on a home. It could be in their political stances or anything else, the sexual orientation, anything that's a little taboo, right? People are like, walk the line. Don't you fucking step over the line. Walk the line. Okay, I'll walk the line. But then when we hear someone like you that say, you're just like, fuck it, dude, I'm going to say whatever I want to say. If you like me, great. If you don't like me, well, there's the door, bitches. And it's nice, dude. It's just refreshing. So thank you for being honest. Thank you for being you. Thank you for bringing some color and flair and fun to our lives because I know that Matt's life is better for this because I've been saying what you've been saying for a long time.
Great. Yeah, it's basically just reinforcing. Yeah. Oh, my God.
This is going down on the books as one of my favorite shows ever. Just went down.
Hey, will all of you send me a friend request on Facebook so we could be friends? I want to know more about Get Exposed. I want to see when the terrorism branding happens because I might need to hire somebody. Who knows?
That's right.
To blow some bitches up.
I just said it. I just said it.
Oh, my God.
Man, blow up your britches. Okay, Greg. First of all, they should follow all of us, actually.
Yes.
So anybody watching, do not friend request. Follow us on Facebook. And then, Greg, our course, Get Now Business, starts on the 10th.
It does, because Matt's taking the 3rd off. I tried to get him to work on the 3rd, but he just won't do it. He said he won't do it. It's against his religion. He's against his libertarian religion. That he won't do it. But no, on the 10th, guys, Get Now Business. I'm going to put a link in here now. It's if you don't like door knocking or cold calling, but something you just can't or won't do, but you want to get your business going, Matt and I put our collective brains together, came up with a very short list because we can't think that much on what we can do to help you. No, kidding. But what we did do is we did put a list together of what you guys can do. It's a month-long course. Every Monday at 9 a.m. we're going to do this, and we're going to show you how to get leads now. Today, if you put this stuff into action, no door knocking, no cold calling, your budget is $500 or less a month for your marketing. If that sounds like you, click the link I'm going to put in here below, or just go to getnowbusiness.com, and you'll be able to watch the video about it and kind of see if it fits for you. Guys, it's recorded. You get the recordings afterwards. Matt and I are going to role play. We're going to show you what's going to be going on. We're always adding new stuff to this to beef up the knowledge so that you guys can be honestly the most armed you can to go out and use the free or very, very, very low cost resources that are all around you. Oh, Lord. What did you buy?
So one of the fans of the show, Walter, you are the man. I don't know if you can see this, but this is Gene.
Oh, no, I'm afraid.
It says, I skin kittens.
I skin kittens.
Walter, you are the man. That made my day. That was awesome.
Thanks, Walter.
I skin kittens.
Walter wins the internet. I don't see that on the page yet. Where's it posted? Come on.
No, he messaged it to me personally. I got to throw that up there. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Walter, feel free to post that to the Real Estate Uncensored, our Facebook.
Yes.
Please do, because that's awesome. All right, guys, we got to wrap
Walter,
this up.
feel free, Walter.
Yeah.
Guess where my first. Guess where who I'm coming after first.
So you can frame it. We'll make sure that.
Listen, guess who's on my hit list first?
All right, guys. Let's bring this one home, shall we, Greg?
We are, guys. All right. Until next time. Peace out, ninjas.